I'm Abra and Machop, and welcome to another discussion about the new N51. For those who don't know, which is probably a lot of you considering how many new subscribers I have since the last time I did one of these, hi, welcome to my channel. The new N51 is a project that I've been doing with my friend Infinipede and a few other helpers to redesign all 151 of the original Pokemon. We collaborate on the designs themselves, and then I make the final art. We started this in 2016, but because of a couple of hiatuses along the way, we've posted so far up to Shelter and Cloister. You can check out the entire project on our Tumblr page at newN51.tumblr.com, or you can watch the videos that I've done about it talking about our design choices. There's a playlist that you can find in the iCard, and it'll be in the end card as well. And recently, we've also been doing our new redesigns on live streams that happen once a month. It helps us stay on track. So the next one is scheduled for June 13th, and that's when we'll be redesigning the Ghastly family. Today, I'm covering our redesigns of 3 families, the Poliwag family, the Abra family, and the Machop family, and I'm really excited to hear what you say about them because I was the lead designer on all 3, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. Since we do this in Pokedex order, let's start with Poliwag, Poliwhirl, and Poliwrath. Pretty straightforward concept for this family. They are tadpoles that don't fully metamorphose into frogs, and their intestines are also visible through their skin. That's what the spiral on their belly is meant to be. We just decided to turn those qualities up. So we gave all 3 of them tails, although the tail becomes less and less prominent as they evolve. That way they stay more strictly tadpole rather than having Poliwhirl and Poliwrath be like tadpoles that look nothing like tadpoles or frogs. We also made them even more transparent, thinking a little bit about the way Reuniclus looks and also the way glass frogs look, since they're pretty much transparent over their entire bodies. And so now the intestines are actually inside of their bodies and visible through the skin, rather than being patterns on the skin. Then you can also see other organs in there, and their limbs are sort of transparent as well. We gave Poliwag little stubs where the arms will grow, and we also made the legs for Poliwhirl and Poliwrath more functional for actually walking and fighting on land, and we borrowed the shapes for the legs and the feet a little bit from Politoed. The concepts behind Abra, Kadabra, and Alakazam are a lot more vague. I mean, there's some very specific concepts in there to do with mysticism, like Zener cards, spoon bending, goats, foxes, but they're not so obvious in the way that they come through in the designs of the Pokemon. So that's the main thing we wanted to do, just make those elements more obvious in the design. So with Abra, besides making it constantly levitate, that just seemed to make sense, we made its face more fox-like, but we gave it more goat-like hooves. We also gave it a big, poofy, fox-like tail, just because we liked Kadabra's big, poofy tail. And the circle on its head is another reference to Zener cards. Kadabra is probably the one that changes the least in this family. The body we just changed to be more consistent with the others. And whereas it used to have a star on its forehead and the squigglies on its abdomen, both of which were Zener card symbols, instead it just has a different Zener symbol on its forehead, a plus sign, because we thought the star made more sense to be on Alakazam. Alakazam has very thin limbs, and it is levitating its spoons to really emphasize how it favors psychic power over physical power. It's also levitating its mustache with psychic power. Of course, it still has the big fox tail, and the face is meant to represent the sigil of Baphomet, the well-known pentagram that is the symbol of the Church of Satan. I think that way, Alakazam blends the goat and fox elements really well. Finally, let's look at the Machop family. It's one of my favorite designs of the series so far. This is another family where the concept is pretty simple. They are basically just vaguely reptilian bodybuilders, and Machop in particular might have a reference to Shiva or Vishnu because of its extra pair of arms. It's not much, but I really latched on to Shiva, who is the Hindu deity associated with destruction and renewal, because that way there's a lot of Hindu iconography that I can draw from to give the designs more details. So if there's any Hindus watching, I would actually really like to know if I did a good job in that regard, and hopefully I didn't use any of it in a disrespectful way. Machop is a martial artist in training, wearing weighted bracelets and a yellow belt, which signifies that it's not a total beginner, but it's also far from becoming a master. The red dot on its forehead is a bindi, which basically represents the third eye and a spiritual awareness, and the black part of the head is a reference to the way Shiva wears his hair. Machop is naturally the next step up. It's wearing metal bracelets, hopefully I did a good enough job in the shading to show that difference, and it's also wearing a proper black belt. Shiva is often depicted with the Ganges River spouting from his head, which is why there's that blue ribbon at the top. And on its chest, Machop wears a tripundra. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but basically it represents the three parts of Shiva's power: will, knowledge, and action. Normally it's worn on the forehead for rites of passage, but of course, Machop's chest offers a lot more real estate. The rite of passage symbolism is really fitting, not only because this is a middle stage Pokemon, but because when it evolves into Machamp, it has ascended and basically become Shiva himself. Just about everything in Machamp's design is a reference to Shiva iconography, not just the Ganges flowing from his hair, but also the crescent moon on its head, the trident pattern on its abdomen, the little drum attached to its hip, and of course, the extra pair of arms. So like I said earlier, I'm really happy with all of the designs that I talked about today, and I really look forward to hearing what you think. Make sure to check out the rest of our work, either in the New 151 playlist or directly on Tumblr, and go also check out Infinipede's art on Twitter. Thank you for watching, and thank you to all of my patrons, especially luxury patron Ethan Saffron. And this is your final reminder that to celebrate this channel's 2-year anniversary, all of my patrons for the month of June will get to commission one piece of Pokemon-style pixel art on top of all the usual Patreon perks. There's details in the description. You have 2 days left to sign up. I'm Abra and Machop. I'll see you in the next chapter.